Hi there, thank you so much for joining me today. My name is Natasha. Welcome to my channel. This video is an empties video for the months of March and April 2020, and I have a lot of makeup to share. I'm pretty excited. Also, if you're curious about how I got my makeup look today, I did my very first eyeshadow bingo video where I only used Colourpop shadows. I took all of my Colourpop shadows and I randomly generated 5, and I used that to create my look today. So if you're curious to see how I created it, then I'll have that linked in the description box or in the cards. Like always, I'm going to pull everything out and sort it into categories so you get a little sneak peek of what we're going to be talking about today. I did it a little bit differently today. I had to do it on my phone, so I hope it's similar to what I usually do, but it's not going to be exactly the same. So let's just get started with that. Alright, like I said, I have a lot of makeup, and I'm going to start with the two mascaras that I have in here. I have a mini of the Tarte Lights Camera Lashes, and I did like this. It's not my favorite. It's certainly not something that I would buy a full size of. I feel like the brush is very basic and very similar to what you can get at the drugstore. Nothing about the formula was like mind-blowing. I got this in a little duo whenever I repurchased the Tarte eyelash curler. I bought another one of those and this came with it, and it was fine, but it's definitely not something that I think you need to run out and buy. The other one I feel the same way about. It's from Colourpop. It's the BFF Volumizing Mascara in the shade Blue Ya Mind. So this was a blue tinted mascara. I featured this mascara in a video where I recreated Maggie Rogers' concert go-to makeup, and I had really glittery eyelids, blue mascara, and fake freckles, and I really like how that look turned out. But other than that tutorial, I don't think that this is necessarily worth it. It's kind of a goopy formula, and it doesn't really build on itself. It kind of just gets goopier and goopier. It's not lengthening, it's not volumizing. I did like the color. I think it definitely showed up blue enough to be noticeable, but I don't think the formula is the best, and I don't really need a blue mascara that often, so this isn't something I think I'm going to run out and repurchase. I also have some eyeliners here. One of them I do think I used up. The other one kind of dried out before I really got a chance to try it out. The one that I think I got enough use out of was the Epic Ink Liner from NYX. This is a really nice liner, but I find that this one in particular, this one that I bought, it would kind of bleed and sometimes get into my eye if I got a little bit too close. And if I'm using it to line my eye, I'm obviously getting very close to my eyeball. So I think this is just a little bit more runny of a formula than I like. I don't know if it was just this one in particular or if this is just how it's always been and I'm only noticing it now. But I didn't love it. I'm wearing the Colourpop liquid liner today, and I really like that one. I think I'll just continue using the Colourpop one and not buy this one anymore. I did like it for a long time, and a lot of people consider this to be their holy grail. But I think I like the Colourpop one a little bit better, and I think it's $1 cheaper. This one dried out before I really even got a chance to try it, and it's the Physicians Formula Eye Booster 2-in-1 Lash Boosting Eyeliner in Serum. This was dry the first time I used it. I tried to use it a couple more times. I tried storing it upside down, etc. Tried shaking it a lot, and nothing really worked, so I think it was dried out before I even got it. I don't consider Physicians Formula to be cruelty-free anymore, so I wasn't going to buy it again anyway. So like I said, I'll just stick to the Colourpop one. I have a pencil liner here from Milani. It's the Supreme Kohl Kajal Crayon, and this one was in the shade 01 Blackest Black. And I really like this one. If I use this to tightline, I do find that sometimes it will go down to the bottom portion of my eye over closer to the corner, and I don't love that. I do really like how pigmented this is and creamy, so it is something I love using on the upper lash line and then smudging out. I'm currently using one from CoverGirl. I have another one from Essence on backup, so I won't be buying this one again for a long time, but I do think this is a really great drugstore Kohl Kajal liner. Now for some exciting products. This one took me forever. It's from Kevyn Aucoin, and it is the sculpting powder in the shade Light, and this one is completely gone. I did repress it, and I found that the formula got a lot more crumbly, a lot more powdery after I did that. So I do think I used it up more quickly once I hit pan and repressed it. I did track how many uses it took to finish, so this will be showing up in a future how long does it take to use it makeup video. I really enjoyed it. I'm trying to use some other powders in my collection, and none of them are really giving me the look that I want. None of them are that delicate balance of being something that is slightly deeper than my skin tone but also cool toned, not in a super ashy way. I don't know, I didn't realize I was this particular about contour powders, but I'm trying to use some of the darker bronzers and other powders in my collection, and none of them are standing up to this. I know LA Girl does have a blush that is a similar shade to this, so I might check that out. But if anyone has a affordable cruelty-free dupe for the Kevyn Aucoin light shade, please let me know. I have a setting spray here. This is from Morphe. It's the Continuous Setting Spray, and I do have another one of these on backup because I bought them when they were like a 2 for $22 special on the Ulta website. At the time, I thought Morphe was cruelty-free. I thought I had seen it on the Logical Harmony list, but it's no longer on there, and some people have been telling me that they're not cruelty-free, so just because of that uncertainty, I don't think I would buy it again. But I did really like the mister on it. It was very fine. I liked the scent. It was clean, but very, very light, very faint. This doesn't do anything to make my makeup last longer. It really just was to make everything melt together and take down the powdery look. This was really nice in the winter when my skin was a little bit drier and I did want products to help me look a little bit more glowy. I did also use this to wet eyeshadows to foil them. I did track how many uses it took to finish, so this will be in a future how long does it take to use up setting spray video that I'm almost ready to start filming. I do have another one of these. Once I finish that one up, I probably won't repurchase this. And I have an SPF product. I think from now on I'm going to consider my SPF products to be makeup. Not because I think it's a makeup product, but I do think that making it count as a makeup empty is going to make me more motivated to use SPF on a regular basis. It's something I'm really trying to be better about, and ever since I started considering it a makeup empty, I have been much better about it. This is the Too Faced Hangover Good to Go Skin Protected SPF 25 Moisturizer. This was broad spectrum SPF 25 and it protects against UVA and UVB rays. And I did think this was really nice. I would use this as my moisturizer in the morning. The pumps were pretty big, so I would use 2 pumps all over my face and neck. I did get this as a free gift with purchase with an Ulta order that I did last year, but I think full price this is like $38. I do not think that it is worth $38, especially considering how much you're supposed to use in order to get the recommended SPF protection. So even though this was very enjoyable and I liked using it and I thought it was moisturizing enough to use as a face cream on its own with an added SPF, it's not something that I think I'm going to buy again. I have 3 hair products and I'm just going to go through everything else pretty quickly. The first one is this Pravana Blonde Purple Toning Mask, and I think this did a really good job at keeping my hair from getting too yellowy, too brassy. This is a cruelty-free brand and it's 100% vegan and gluten-free if that's important to you. And if you can see, this is a very, very dark purple and it smelled like bubblegum. A lot of the purple toning products I own smell like bubblegum and I really enjoy that. I do think this is something I will purchase down the line. It's not something that I feel like I need right now because I do have a little bit of like a reddish orangey tint to my blonde hair right now, just as leftover from a color depositing conditioning mask that I used previously from Overtone. And so I think my hair just looks warm and not brassy, so I don't feel like I need this right now, but it is something that I think is effective and I will purchase some point down the line. I have one of my favorite conditioners ever. I just talked about this in my best and worst of Pacifica video. This is the Banana Love Deep Intense Moisture Mask, and this smells fantastic. I love it's like a desserty banana type of scent. This is also 100% vegan and cruelty free as well, and I think it is a very nice formula. It doesn't weigh my hair down, but it is a very moisturizing formula. I love it. I already have a backup of this in my shower right now. And the last hair product I have is the Ren Pure Solutions Coconut and Argan Oil Dry Shampoo. I do like the scent of this. It's kind of got like a sweeter, more desserty coconut scent, but I feel like it's pretty heavy on my hair. I just really, really like the dry shampoo powder that I have from Cake. It's specifically formulated for people with lighter hair. It has a really nice light desserty scent, and I just really like the powder over sprays. I think it's a lot lighter. I think it does a much better job of making my hair look cleaner but not feel heavy. I can still run my fingers through my hair. I'm just really not in the mood for aerosol can dry shampoos at the moment, so I'm slowly working through them, and I think I'll just keep my Cake as like my go-to dry shampoo. I have one deodorant really quick from Kopari. It's just their aluminum-free natural deodorant, and I figured I might as well use it while I'm at home. This is my second tube of it, and I found that the first tube that I went through, it worked nicely and I really, really enjoyed it. But this second one, I don't know if it's because it's the fragrance-free version or if it's just not reacting to my body the way it used to, but this isn't a very effective deodorant. I'm just going to continue using my Certain Dry antiperspirant. That's a cruelty-free brand, relatively affordable, easily accessible at the grocery stores for me, and is effective. So I'm just going to continue to use that. I'm glad I used it up while I'm not really around anyone for it to matter, but this is not something I would buy again. Really quick, I have a hand cream here. This is from Essence. It's the Honey Care Moisturizing and Caring hand cream with honey. This was like $2 and I thought it smelled okay, but it really wasn't that good. It did kind of feel like a cheap hand cream. I'm glad to have used it up, but it's not something I would buy again. I have a beauty blender here. This is very sad. I used this like for a year and a half straight. I just started having trouble getting the stains out and there started to be little holes forming in the sponge, so I'm just going to move on to other sponges. I would like to purchase a beauty blender again. I think it lasts the longest. I think it's the easiest to clean and get everything out, and I think if it's like the only sponge I'm using and I can get a year and a half use out of it, I think it's worth like the $15 or $20 that they are. I have a face cleanser. This is from The Ordinary. It's the Squalene cleanser. This is like a very lightweight cream, and then when you get it wet, it turns into a milk. And this is just very underwhelming to me. It's not something that I think really even does anything. I think it's so gentle that it doesn't actually cleanse my skin. So this is not something I would buy. I was just incredibly underwhelmed by this. I have a Pure Castile soap bar from Dr. Bronner's. This is the tea tree version. I use it to wash my makeup sponges and my reusable cotton pads. Really love it. I already have another one in my bathroom right now, so definitely would repurchase this. And the very last one is a Perfect Matcha Balm from Physicians Formula. This is my favorite cleansing balm I've ever tried. I do have one more in backup in my bathroom now, and once I use it up, I don't have any other oils or balms to remove my makeup. I am on the hunt for a cruelty-free and more affordable version of this. I did track how many uses it took to finish, and I found that the cost per use was way too high for me to buy again, even if this was a cruelty-free brand. Once I finish up the other one, I'll most likely try the one from Colourpop. They're not really shipping right now, so I'm not sure what I'll do. I might just have to use micellar waters until I can get my hands on something. Very sad to see this go. Would love for a cruelty-free brand to come out with their own version of this. And those are all of my empties from the past 2 months. I have a lot of makeup products that are so close to being done, so I imagine I'll have a really high number of makeup empties to talk about next time. Let me know if you finished anything in the past couple of months that you thought was fantastic, or if you've used something up that was horrible and you'll never try it again. But in the meantime, that's everything I have. Thank you so much for joining me, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye guys!